Hello and welcome to part 6 of the overhand knot. Well, as you can tell by now, I love this knot because it's such a great way of introducing us to different knotting concepts. And today we're going to make a loop. Let's say you need a loop in the end of a line for a lanyard, for a knife or something. So all you do, you make a loop in your line like this. When you do this, this is called a bite. And we're going to take our loop and we're going to just tie our overhand knot in the loop and dress it up like this, and you will end up with something that looks like that, our overhand loop. And let's have a look at the way that that's dressed up. You've got these nice neat double tram lines that run all the way around the knot, and that's going to make a good strong loop and a good strong knot. Let's have a look at something that can happen when we're tying loops in doubled up line like this. Let's do it again. There's our loop. So I'm just going to tie that knot again. There's our overhand knot. Just dress that up. And well, hang about, there's something slightly odd happening there, isn't there? You can see that that hasn't dressed up nearly so nicely. We haven't got those nice double tram lines. We've got a bit of a cross here and a cross there. Now that's a perfectly serviceable loop. It will work, and although it offends my sensibilities slightly for a knife or what have you, it might be a bit of a moot point, but it introduces the idea that we need to be careful when we're dressing knots, because where you get those crosses and twists, it can weaken the knot significantly, and it's important to pay attention, especially when you're tying knots where safety is important. So let's have a look at why that happened. When you double up a line like this, try to think of it now as a single line rather than two, as if it was fused down the middle like a piece of bell wire. And now it's not a thing of round cross section. It's got a flat cross section, a bit like a shoelace, like a piece of tape. So let's have a look how this works with an actual piece of tape. This knot is actually used in some ways to join webbing for climbers and what have you. So there's our overhand knot, and as we dress that up, you'll see it produces a nice, neat, flat, strong knot, and it'll hold that as it tightens up. Now it's much more obvious in the tape when we do it slightly differently. Let's introduce a twist. And now when we dress that up, it's a much uglier knot, and it doesn't sit right. It wants to bunch up. You see we've got this twist here. It's a much harder knot to untie for a start, and it's going to be less strong. Let's have a look at that again so we can relate that to our line. So there we are. We've doubled up our line. This is now a flat tape. Think of it that way. So keeping that tape untwisted, working around the standing part, dress it up neatly. Let's see if we've got a twist on that. No, we haven't. A nice, neat, strong overhand loop.